Why did you decide to make such a fantastic voyage?
I wish to travel to a place untouched by the bureaucracy and corruption of modern society. A place where my only obstacles were the endless forests, the blue sky, and hundreds upon thousands of infectious diseases. I'm talking about Wysocks, the vast uncharted territory on the east bank of the Susquehanna River. I soon realized, however, that Wysocks was only a land of darkness, a land where men's hopes and dreams, the very blood of one's being, are sent to die. Kind of like a spleen. I guess you could call Wysocks the Spleen of Darkness.
A million fires blazing red. I wonder if Mr. Kurtz is dead. Some doctor put his fingers on my head. The spleen of darkness.
I set out for Wysocks to meet a legendary and mysterious man named Kurtz. On my journey, I began to ask myself questions like, what drove Kurtz to such prominence? And what is Kurtz thinking about right now?
I wonder if they still make those Reese's Big Cups.
With my trusty pilgrim at my side, we braved the wilds of downtown Towanda, and even faced a small skirmish with the natives. What impressed me most about the natives was how ordinary, how human they really were. Sure, they may drive big monster trucks, and they might not be able to consistently use a pooper scooper, but when you look past all of that, they aren't that different from you or me. Except they're pretty persistent with those foam arrows.
Oh!
The loss of some of your men is an unavoidable tragedy of any wilderness adventure. At this point I faced my greatest challenge yet, the mighty Susquehanna. I soon realized that since I had no steamboat, I would have to find other means of crossing the river. Fortunately, the river was only 6 inches deep at its lowest point. Having successfully triumphed over nature for now, I sliced my way through thick jungle to reach the devious Kurtz's inner station. I also found a pair of shears on the ground to help with my slicing. After slicing through jungle for 800 miles, I finally arrived in Wysocks. Right until the end, Kurtz was unwilling to give up his lofty ambitions.
I've been sent by the company to take you away. No! I've worked years for this ivory. I'll wring the heart of Wysocks yet. Exterminate the brutes.
Fortunately, I was able to lure him away with a box of ivory soap. We then headed back to Towanda, saying goodbye to the Spleen of Darkness and welcoming back the soft appendix of cloudy grayness. I dropped my shears somewhere when I was crossing the river. I must say I admired Kurtz greatly. He was completely independent and he knew it. The world belonged to him and the company was but a parasite to be swatted away. He had both intelligence and ferocious madness, a combination more potent than that found in any other type of man. Apparently, he also had a weak immune system. Before we made it back to Towanda, he uttered a few short words.
The horror! The horror!
And then died.
I realized at that point that I would never know a more tenacious and strong-willed man than Mr. Kurtz. While I did not agree with his motives, I greatly admired his resolve and continued attempts at making a difference. Kind of like that little claw game at the arcade where they try to scoop up the stuffed animals. You know what I'm talking about? It keeps trying to get the stuffed animals, but no, it's not going to. It's not going to. Anyway. Anyway, after Kurtz died, I went to the house of his fiancée, his intended, to give her a stack of papers that Kurtz had given me.
After all of this time, Kurtz's fiancée back home was still in mourning. She seemed, like so many others, to view Kurtz as a deity on Earth, a hero prevented from fulfilling his life's dream by the all-powerful hand of nature. For some reason, I was walking very, very slowly that day.
I've been waiting for you.
I quickly panned around the room. It was a nice little affair. I then gave her the notebook.
I thought that you should have this.
Oh, that's wonderful. He was truly a loss to the world.
I know.
I knew more than anybody else how remarkable and admirable he was, and a pretty decent surfer.
I know.
Tell me, what were his very last words before he died?
The horror! The horror!
His very last word was your first name.
What was his second to last word?
You gotta be kidding me, miss. He said the horror, okay? The horror. He was talking about the corruption and despair at the heart of human existence, okay? I'm leaving.
He never loved you anyway.
A couple months later, as a reward for my brave journey, the Queen of England herself named me the new Kurtz and gave me full possession of Africa to use as my personal summer resort and day spa.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you heard about it in all the papers. Yeah, you know, that thing.
That can't be true. Are you sure you're not making this up?
Of course not. This is all true. What am I supposed to tell you people? I don't have to prove myself to you. This interview's over.